I got ACAN NICU and I also got 600 on my TOEIC score. I couldn't order my drinks at the Starbucks, but I felt so miserable. I lost all of my confidence. But I didn't want to give up, so I changed the strategy. I changed it. And then in a year, I got this job as an interpreter on the campus. Hi everyone, it's Sushi, and this is my dog, Riley. Riley, say hi. Hi. Well, it's not really my dog, this is my partner's parents' dog. I know, as you can tell, I'm outside and I'm at the park. It's nice and beautiful day today, and today I'd like to talk about English learning journey. I'm still in the middle, but what I did, what I went through, and I had all the setbacks and failures that I made, and then all that kind of stuff with you guys. And today I don't have any plot, I don't have any dialogue, so it's gonna be really, I don't know how it's gonna turn out, to be honest. And this is kind of my first time to talk about this thing, so I don't know if I could do it very well, but I would like to give it a go, and I want to try my best so that by sharing this story I can help some people who have been studying English and then struggling to get through some obstacles. I hope my experience will help you guys to get through it. Okay, without further ado, let's start. I'm an English conversation coach, and I have been studying English for like almost 16 years now, and I have ACAN pre-grade 1, ACAN EQ, and I have the TOEIC score of 955. So that's my English level, and then I've lived in America for 2 years and Australia for 4 years. If you are curious about how I started from very zero to until I get here, I shared another video previously, so please watch that. Today I just wanna, my main focus is to talk about my failures, setbacks. So when I looked back, I think I had about 4 setbacks. So first one is when I was in middle school. So when I started learning English, I was 13. I started from alphabets, and even before that I already loved English very much. I was listening to English songs like See Day, Go Back. Riley is just laying in front of me, so I'm gonna go with that. So I was crazy about English songs. It's because I fell in love with English, like the sound of English. I really loved it. The pronunciation, I thought it was just beautiful. Like when I first heard people talking in English, I thought, wow, this is amazing. Like this sounds so lovely, you know, like I got so fascinated, and then I was easily drawn to it. So that's when I first started learning English, I guess. Well, when I first got interested in English, let's say. And then I used to listen to the CD by Celine Dion. There was an album that was my mom's actually, and I was crazy about it. I listened to it so many times, so many times that the CD started making weird sound when I played it. And I was so obsessed with it. And then when I got into middle school, that's when I first started learning English at, you know, the table, at the desk. How do you say, kijo? I started learning by the book, which was pretty easy. But when it started getting into like grammar, I got confused. I couldn't really get good scores anymore on my English exam. I think the average was around 60, 70. I wasn't really a great student. I wasn't very smart because I didn't really understand grammar much. So I understood the concept of I am, she is, he is, that kind of stuff. But when it came to past tense, it becomes it was, I was, but she was. I was like, why? Why not, you know, something else? Because if it's present tense, it's I am and she is, not she am. But the past tense, it's I was and she was. Like, why? Like, I got so confused. And then I asked so many questions to my teachers. And then every time they explained it to me, I still didn't get it. And then I was the type of person who didn't understand something. I'm stuck. I'm like literally stuck. I can't move on until I really get it. So I'm pretty sure I was one of the most annoying students for for my teachers back then. So I was like that. So English, I wasn't always good at English. I think I would say I was stuck at it. But I loved English. I've always loved English. So no matter how low my English score is, I didn't really care much because I loved English. One day, someday, I always had this dream in my mind. I've always wanted to be fluent in English. That's something I really want to do. And that was when I was in middle school. And then when I graduated from middle school, I decided to enter this high school because the only reason why I decided to go to the high school was because the school trip was to go to Australia. And I really, really wanted to go overseas. So that was pretty much the main reasons why I decided to go to that high school. And then when I got into that high school, I took very, very serious about learning English. So I spent hours and hours studying English by myself. I used this like thick textbook, like grammar book. I went through like all over. I was carrying my vocabulary book everywhere I go. Even like when I was taking a bus or train to the school, I had this vocabulary book in my hand, like going through using the red sheet to go through all the books. Because I really wanted to be able to speak English fluently. And then I got first in my classroom because I was working so hard. I was studying so hard, and then I got first in my classroom, and that made me so happy. I was so happy. And then this is gonna be my second setback. But when we went to Australia on our school trip, I was so happy at first because it was my first traveling abroad. I got so excited because I got the passport, and I loved being at the airport, and I was like, oh my god, I'm finally going to overseas. I got so excited. And then when I got introduced to my host family, I just couldn't understand what they were saying. I really didn't understand. And they were so lovely. They were super nice people. But just because my English wasn't good enough, I couldn't hold a conversation with them. And there were so many things I wanted to talk about, but I just couldn't. And then I was so frustrated, I thought I was an interesting person. It's funny to say that to myself, but I just couldn't express my feelings, my emotions, my opinions, and it was just very, very frustrating for me. And then I spent 3 weeks in Australia. I had a really good time. I went sightseeing, and it was just lovely, but I was very, very frustrated. And in that time I decided, okay, 3 weeks was very short, but if I go there maybe like long term, a year or two, then I thought, okay, I think I'll be able to speak English fluently the way I want. So that's the time when I decided to study abroad. And then after coming back from Australia, I studied even harder. I stayed up until 2 a.m. Studying English. I even stayed up 2 a.m., 3 a.m. studying for exam. And I really wanted to be first in my classroom all the time. So I studied so hard. That's what I remember. And I did lots of reading. I did seidoku, I did slash reading. I tried everything to get my grade up. And also I started exchanging the diary with one of my ALT teachers. to improve my writing skill. I did that for about a year, and then just before graduating from my high school, I got Eiken Nikyu, even though I failed once because I couldn't pass the speaking part, so I had to retake it. So I got Eiken Nikyu, and I also got 600 on my TOEIC score, which wasn't too bad, right? And then I spent 6 years studying English so hard, and then I convinced my dad and decided to go study abroad in the United States. So I went there, and then that was gonna be my third setback. When I got there, I lost all my confidence because I couldn't order my drinks at the Starbucks. I know it sounds crazy, like how you had Egenikyu, you had 600 points on your TOEIC score. How could it possible? How is it possible? Like not being able to order at Starbucks. I felt the same way, you know. I knew how to say it, but my pronunciation wasn't correct, and my voice was so small, like so. It was like because I wasn't confident. I couldn't speak up. So the lady at the counter, at the cashier, she didn't understand what I said. I think I wanted to order frappuccino or something, and I did, but she didn't understand. And when American people don't understand, they say, huh? They say like this. And at that time, I didn't know that huh means, what did you say? Can you please say that again? That's huh? Yeah. But in Japanese, when people say huh, it means like they are not accepting you, you know, like you would feel like that. Like huh sounds very aggressive. So I got so uncomfortable speaking English. I lost my confidence, and I couldn't say anything after that because I was so afraid of making mistakes. I was so scared of her not being able to understand me, you know. So I didn't want to speak English anymore. But luckily, I had one of my friends with me, and she helped me to put the order through. So I got my frappuccino drink, but I felt so miserable. Like I was so embarrassed, you know, like I spent so many years studying English, and I spent quite a bit of money, you know. My parents paid for me to go to Australia, and I bought so many books, so many English books, and I bought so many DVDs. At that time I was crazy about Disney, so I bought like 9-10 like different DVDs, Disney movie DVDs, and to learn English. I bought a laptop to study English and all that kind of stuff, you know. I spent quite a bit of money, you know, to take tests and to improve my English skill, but I felt like it wasn't really working well to me. So I was very sad and disappointed in myself. That was my third setback. But I didn't want to give up, you know. I really didn't want to give up because that was one of my biggest dreams, you know, to be able to speak English fluently. I really wanted to be fluent in English and then make friends all over the world and travel around the world and being able to exchange our opinions with others in English. And that's something I really wanted to do when I was 18, 19. So even though I was very, I should say I felt at the bottom, to be honest. I never experienced that failure in my life, to be honest. I lost all of my confidence. But I didn't want to give up, so I decided to push myself even harder. I had to think wisely. I had to be more wise, because if I do 6 years doing the same thing, using grammar book, using vocabulary book, doing lots of reading and writing, but it didn't really work out. And then I was like, why? You know, I studied so hard, but why can't I speak English? Why can't I listen to? Why can't I understand what the native speakers are saying? And I had to really think. And then I came up this idea. I came up to this conclusion. All I did was for the test, you know, I did the test English, but I didn't do any communication English. And at that time, I changed the strategy. I changed it. I did something completely different from what I used to do, which I had talked about it on this video. So if you're interested, please check it out. I'm not gonna go through much deep stuff here, but I took different strategy. I started working on my pronunciation. I did many English instant composition, and I listened to many English audios. I watched many English dramas and watched YouTube contents, Netflix and all that. And I practiced speaking a lot. I limited myself the amount of Japanese I can speak and I can listen. I didn't make any Japanese friends. I only went out with foreign friends who I can talk to in English. So I was pretty harsh on myself, and then it was hard. I have to admit, it was so freaking hard because Japanese is the easiest language for me. We had some other Japanese international students and I wanted to be friends with them, but I knew it wasn't gonna be doing any good to me. So I had to say no, to if they ask me, oh, do you want to come over or do you want to have a party at my dorm? I had to say no. When I kept saying no to them and then they stopped inviting me, and sometimes when I walk past in front of their dorm, I can hear them laughing and singing and having a good time drinking alcohol, and they are all talking in Japanese, which I really I was so jealous. I really wanted to do it, but I knew it wasn't gonna help what I wanted. What I wanted was to be able to speak English fluently, and in order to do that, I had to put myself in an environment where I listen to English and then I speak English. I got rid of all the apps from my phone because when I see my Japanese friends hanging out in Japan, drinking, having fun, then I thought I would like to go back home. And I decided I was going to stay in the States at least 1 year. Well, I decided that I don't want to go back to Japan unless I become fluent in English. I made a promise. I had to push myself really hard. I did that for a year, and then I felt like, before I know it, and 3 months after I arrived in the States, I became a friend with this American girl who is still my best friend, who I still keep in touch with. She became my best friend, and we spent such an amazing time when I was in the States. So I did that, and then within 6 months I was able to talk about deep things like koibana, about life, about dream, about who you like and those kind of stuff. And then in a year I got this job as an interpreter on the campus, and that was I was so happy. I was so happy to be able to achieve my goal. And I had another setbacks, to be honest, which I felt now. I think a lot of people must have faced it. It's the wall for upper intermediate. If I have a year or 2 years of learning English, being in an English spoken environment, I thought I would be able to speak like native speakers, which I found out is almost impossible. Native speakers is their next level. I felt very sad when I realized that, okay, I spent 6 years in Japan studying English really hard, and then I spent 2 years in the United States. I pushed myself really hard, but yet I can't speak like the way native speakers do, which disappointed me again. But it's true. It's nothing's wrong. It's hard. I still feel like my English is not the level. Well, I am happy with my English. How can I say? Oh, it's so hard to say. The grass always looks greener on the other side. Have you heard of it? I feel that way now. even if I spend so many years, I spend so much money, like close to 600万700万 I don't even want to calculate it. I still can't speak like native English speakers do. Like, I still make mistakes, of course, grammar mistake, my pronunciation isn't perfect, I still have this Japanese accent that I'm struggling to get rid of. Back then I really wanted to speak like native speakers do, but now I'm quite content with my English, and I'm happy that I have accent, because that makes me that helps me to be unique, you know. I feel like I'm one and only with this accent, so I'm quite happy with that. And then now I help a lot of people who have been struggling with their English learning, and I get how I do really understand how they feel, because I was there once. I'm so grateful for their experience. It took me for a long time to get to this level, but I'm very all the experiences, goods and bads, I cherish every one of them. Without those experience, I wouldn't be where I am now. So even though I'm still learning English and my English isn't perfect, but I'm okay with it. It doesn't mean I gave up on getting any better. Now I take time and enjoy my English journey. I enjoy learning English, and it has become part of my life. So the message I want to deliver here is, if you are struggling to learn English, I understand how you feel. Been there, done that. But please don't give up, because that's the only failure. Giving up is the only failure. But if you keep trying, even if you feel miserable, even if you feel frustrated, if you feel like ashamed, embarrassed, if you don't stop, then eventually you will get to the level that you want. So hang in there. Don't give up. I know it's frustrating, but please have fun with it. Enjoy the every journey, and I'll be rooting for you. If you can speak English, there is amazing world out there. It's unbelievable. Like, you can never imagine. I cannot imagine the life without being able to speak English, to be honest. I've met so many amazing people. I've experienced so many great things just because I was able to speak English. Opened the door for me, you know. And then it brought so many opportunities, chance, hopes, everything, happiness, joy. I just can't thank English enough for making me feel that way, for helping me to get here, helping me to be who I am today. So that's my journey of English learning. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I'm so glad that I didn't give up, because I learned so many things through learning English. Not only being able to speak English, but also I learned how to be persistent, how to be consistent. I learned how important it is to keep promise to yourself, and then achieve goals, like small goals. I learned how to be confident. I learned how to stick with one thing, and I learned how to not to give up things uneasily, and those kind of stuff. I learned so many important lessons through learning English, and then I feel very grateful. Like, those lessons are very important when it comes to just live life. It was like life-changing experience for me. That's why I keep saying English could change your life. Like, literally, it has a power. It's got the power of changing people's life, because English changed my life completely. I have become different person. I wasn't like this before. I was so I gave up on things so easily. I was failure, like club activity, 部活動. I was a 幽霊部員. I was a 幽霊部員 because the practice was so hard. I didn't want to do it, so I ran away. I was always the type of person who run away from things when it gets hard. But I learned through English, I learned not to run away, even if I face obstacles. I tried to find a way to get over it. I became more patient. So it was very important for me. So I tell my students and I encourage them, like through this, you can learn so many amazing things. So don't give up. Your life is gonna change, if you put 100% into this, your life is gonna be completely different, and your personality is gonna change. The way you think, the perspective, the value, everything's gonna change. So that's why I encourage people to study English, and that's the reason why I do this job. That's why I enjoy teaching English, because I believe English has got this power of changing people's life in a good way. If you like this video, it's hard to say. I'm struggling with saying this word. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. And I hope to upload more content that will help you learn English. Guys, let's keep going. That's my story. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.